The sixth speaker is Mr. Tatsuyuki Hattori from St. Paul's University, ESS. The title of his speech is Stop Judging, Start Loving. Stop Judging, Start Loving. So Mr. Hattori, please come up to the stage.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, honorable judges, timekeepers, questioner, organizers, and audience members. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. To begin with, I would like to do my English translation. I'll pronounce one word in two different ways, so please decide which sounds better for you. Practice and practice. I have a hunch that most of you are unfamiliar with the latter, and would say, the first one, I guess? Then I went, oh, brother, is that so? What made you think like that, I wonder? I found this conversation relatable to everyone here because Japanese people tend to judge English pronunciation easily based on American English, just like you did at the beginning of this speech. However, I can't help myself thinking, seeing the world just through American glasses make us lose sight of the diversity. As for me, one experience became a game changer. So today, I'm standing here to spread the idea of the diversity of English translations. After my speech, I have realized there are a gazillion types of English pronunciation possible in this world, and I like to stop judging and start following them, including your own English as a tool to communicate with people. Japanese people are conscious of their English to an extreme degree. I'm quite sure you felt this ever before, at least once in a lifetime. This is simply because we don't have so many opportunities to practice speaking English in our lives, and this makes us unconfident in our own English. Thinking of people around me, especially, mostly concerned about their pronunciations. I hear them say, you know, my pronunciation really sucks, couldn't get worse. Or, oh dear, I wish my pronunciation would be much better. But every time I hear expressions of good, better, bad, worse, correct, and wrong pronunciations, I always ask myself like this over and over again. Aren't we just making things difficult ourselves? English pronunciation is not something we can judge in the first place, because various kinds of English are used around the globe today. So its pronunciation can be very different, more than we can ever imagine. For example, Americans pronounce can't, but it's common to pronounce it as can't in the UK. Like this, each of different ways to speak English, so we should not compare them to one another in a stereotypical way. If we continue to think that way, we'll just end up overthinking pronunciations and just be tongue-tied whenever and wherever we speak English. The world is now getting globalized more than ever, and if we hesitate to speak English just because of that little thing, we can't communicate with people around the world very well. And what's worse, we can't enjoy speaking English in the first place. So why do we care about pronunciation this much? To make a long story short, this is because many Japanese people feel required to speak just like Americans do. The English education in Japan has to be done in American English, and we don't have enough opportunities to hear and understand different kinds of English as long as we're in Japan. We do not get used to difference of English, unlike people in the multicultural countries. This makes us unconsciously close our windows, gazing narrow-sighted, and regard the American English as outclassing. As a result, we misunderstand we must reach that level. To be honest, back in the day, I was one like it too. So here, let me talk more about experience I mentioned at the beginning. In summer of first year, I stayed at International University of Japan in Niigata Prefecture for 5 days from class. On the first day, we held a welcome party, and I had a chance to interact with people around the world over some finger food and drinks. I had a lot of fun spending time with them, but I had difficulty understanding what one student for an age was saying. At first, I was petrified to hear the English because he had a very strong accent. I unconsciously underestimated English just because it was not familiar to me. But seeing the other 40 students and teachers talk with no difficulty, I want to reach a conclusion. It's not that his English sounds bad, but it's just he was speaking his own English. After this experience, I became more open-minded about Russia like never before. Every time I hear people speak English, I feel proud of the differences of their own. Today's 8 speakers, 3 honorable judges, 1 questioner, and all the others here have differences in their own beautiful and proud English. By the idea of stop judging and start loving, I could find the truth I'm dying to share with today. Yes, we'll speak English differently. That's how English should be. According to Harvard Institute, one of the world's most ancient magazines, English is now spoken by 1.75 billion people in the world, and surprisingly, about 80% of us speak it as a second language. 80%. This means we non-native speakers surpass native speakers in number, to tell the truth. From this, don't you think it's natural that we all speak English differently? Then what can we do to change the current situation? I'll tell you a new way of thinking to help change your mindset. That is to once again learn the fact there are countless kinds of English classes out there, and ours is just one of them. By thinking and believing this way, it helps us when we speak English. For example, imagine when your society is not the future, and your colleague from the US gives a presentation with perfect American accents. You become afraid to hear their English, but by the idea provided, you can be confident in making your presentation too. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's your turn. I'm invited all over here to take God an opportunity to stop judging your pronunciations and start out yours as your own precious identity. People you'll meet in the future may speak English with accents you haven't heard of. If you're self-aware of accents, it helps you be open-minded when you meet such people. Let us just remember, English pronunciation differ very much from country to country, region to region, and most importantly, person to person. Practice and practice. Now, what do you think? I strongly hope this speech became a great reminder for diversity of English process to promote by the idea of stop judging and start loving. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, it is time for the questions and answers. Mr. Sato, please.
Thank you, Hattori-san,
Thank you
for
very
giving
much.
us a speech. That's really an important topic for judges, because you have to judge the speaker's pronunciation. Okay, you mentioned that English education in Japan is mainly based on American English. That's right?
Yes.
Okay, so could you tell me any example of English education in other countries, like in Indonesia, you mentioned in your speech?
In other countries?
Other countries, yeah.
Well, I heard that, like, for example, in European countries, I've heard that the classes are, standard English in European countries. In art school, I heard they teach British English. I'm sorry, I'm not sure about this, but I've heard so.
So in European countries, the English education is based on the British English.
I've heard so, yeah.
Okay. So I agree with you that there should be a variety of English. I agree with that. However, I also believe that pronunciation must be understood by English speakers. That's also important, because English is language. To be understood is very important. And imitating American English is one effective way for Japanese people to learn pronunciation, I believe. So, So if you have any other way to teach English, could you tell us? So how can we teach pronunciation to kids in elementary school or junior high school students?
Any other way to
Any other ways?
teach English? Actually, the Ministry of Education about 10 years ago made like guideline curriculum for high school English education, and it said that it's important to let students know and understand the diversity of English, that English is different in terms of words, grammar, pronunciation. So I think the best way to teach English is to let children know the diversity of English at an early stage.
So what do you mean with the word diversity? So you mean in the curriculum of junior high school, the government must use some English, not only American English, but also British or Indonesian or Russian, or you mean that in English education we should use variety of English? Do you mean that?
Japanese English education is held in American English because Japan has been closely related with the US for a long time, so that's a reason. So teaching English in American English I don't think is a big problem, but plus that, I think it's important to let children know about the diversity of English. So it's, yeah.
Okay, diversity of English is also important for kids. That's your opinion, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, this will be the last question. Now, today, your topic is really complicated because, as you know, we judges should make scores for pronunciation for each speaker. So, what should we do for this contest?
Yeah, it's a difficult question, and I know it's a part of your work to do.
I agree.
But if I were you, maybe I would take the pronunciation part as less important.
That's important.
Because I can do it. Anything about it. It's your work, part of your work to do. I think.
Okay, I will do my best. Thank you very much.